Lauren Anderson of Fifth Estate Communications. She's the festival organizer for Takoma Park's Earth Day. Lauren, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
How's it been so far today? How's the turnout been?
Absolutely perfect. We couldn't have asked for a more beautiful day. It's just the perfect spring day, and the turnout has been wonderful. All of our vendors have really been wonderful, have wonderful setup, lots of fun things happening. We had our digging in the sandbox for dinosaurs this morning with Takoma Plays, which lots of kids over there, so that went really well.
Did you find any dinosaurs?
I think they did.
Oh.
I think they found a few dinosaurs.
How many vendors are out here?
I think we have about 35.
35
Yeah, and then we have
okay.
food trucks across the street and our native plant sale, which also looks to be going really well. So it's an exciting day.
That's great. So in organizing this event, how long did it take? Was it a easy sort of breezy sort of thing, or did
it
it
came
take
together
some time?
really nicely, but there's a few months of work that went into it. We originally met with Laura Barclay at OTBA in January to decide, we originally had decided if we wanted an Earth Day event or just a Green Day event, and we decided that Earth Day really made a lot of sense because Takoma Park is such an earth-friendly city and cares a lot about environmental issues, and had never before OTBA had never before done something for Earth Day, so it made sense to have an event to really observe this national holiday that Takoma Park kind of celebrates every day. So we met in January, we decided on an Earth Day event, and since then we've been organizing vendors, getting sponsors, and really just promoting, getting an audience here, getting participants here.
And so the theme here is every day is Earth Day, right?
Exactly.
What kind of response have you gotten from the community after organizing this event?
A lot of positive response. Most people are shocked that this wasn't already happening, that this is the first year. Yeah. So yeah, great response. Everyone that I've talked to has been really excited about it, and just excited to have a day in Takoma Park when everyone can come together and really celebrate green solutions and celebrate the earth that we share here.
Is there anything in particular that you all really want as like a takeaway, as far as a ideology, a thought, a philosophy?
I'm really hoping that people take away whatever they came here to find out. I'm hoping people came here with questions about, how can I be more earth-friendly? Everything from how do I eat a certain way, what material should I be using if I'm renovating my house, how can my house be more energy friendly, can I install solar panels? Like I said, Takoma Park is a place where people really care about the earth, and sometimes these things are all tricky. It's hard to figure out, what's going to cost what, can I afford it, is it practical for my family? So I hope that people brought those questions here and then got those questions answered.
So this is more of like a one-stop shop.
Exactly. This is our one-stop shop. Everyone can come with their, what is it, how does it work kind of questions and get all of those answered.
And also learn a lot more information about what else is out there, because there's a lot of tables, a lot of groups out here that people probably didn't know anything about.
Right, yeah, a lot of great organizations doing great work. We have Real Food for Kids-Montgomery County here. We have Young Activist Club trying to get rid of the styrofoam trays in their cafeteria. A lot of great youth organizations as well as community organizations too. And we have our speaker series, so for people looking at more abstract environmental issues like fracking and wildlife conservation, sustainability, people can go there to hear from our speakers, which is really great.
Okay. And is this going to be an annual thing, or is this?
We hope so. Yeah. I mean, with the turnout today, it seems to me that it makes a lot of sense for this to be an annual thing, and maybe next year it'll be even bigger. We'll see.
Sounds good. Well, thank you so much, Lauren.
Thank you guys very much.
If there be time to expose through discussion the falsehoods and the fallacies, the remedy to be applied is more speech, not enforced silence.
Public, educational, and governmental access television is such a remedy, providing every community with a forum for free expression. PEG Access empowers every voice to be heard. It's the freedom to communicate, and it's only on cable.
I think what I remember most is that I couldn't catch my breath. I just couldn't catch my breath.
He was only 17. He was going to be a senior at Magruder High School.
Her body was dragged for more than a mile, and her body was left.
It's very quiet now. My name is Leslie Lopez, and I lost my son in a pedestrian accident.
access television, no commercials, sit and listen. People just like you and me, voices of community, freedom to communicate only on cable. This is great, our nation's First Amendment TV. Cats, kids, history, environmental manatees, beaches, parks, and scenery. Turn us on, you might see me. Controversy, politics, spiritual and skating tricks. Our nation's First Amendment TV.
I'm here with Miss Karen Devitt. She is the co-founder of Real Food for Kids-Montgomery. Karen, thank you so much for speaking to us today.
Thank you.
So talk to us about your program.
Yes, we formed this grassroots parent advocacy group last October. Another mom and I got together. We were just really fed up with the junk food in the schools, and we got together and decided we had to do something about it, and we formed a group. And we have now got representatives in 43 of the schools in Montgomery County.
Okay.
We have over 100 members, and we are trying to advocate for better food, real food. We've also gotten some good press in the last few months about what we're doing.
Congratulations.
And thank you, thank you. And anyway, so we're here on Earth Day just to promote our idea, which is this is a lot of what they sell in the schools, and this is real food. So it's a simple message, and we're trying to make a difference. And
so you want to bring in fresh fruits and vegetables versus the sugar, these sugar packs, these cookies, Doritos.
Exactly. We'd like to lessen this kind of fare in the schools. It has a lot of artificial ingredients. It has a lot of sugar, and it just shouldn't be served at mealtime. Most of us believe that just a healthy lunch should be served at mealtime.
Definitely.
So anyway, we're working on getting the message out, advocating for our children, and trying to be as positive as we can. It's a difficult system to infiltrate because it's so large, and it's been doing things the same way for so long, and we're just doing the best we can. And thanks so much for this opportunity to talk to you.
So Karen, one of the main goals here is to get one representative in every school, and you said there's about 202?
202 schools in Montgomery County, and we are trying to get at least one representative from our organization who can advocate directly to the principal and directly through the PTA as well, and create wellness committees in the school so that you have grassroots within each school, because these schools are large. They're communities in themselves. Yes, and so it's a large population, and we're trying to do things at the grassroots level as well as advocating at the top level. I did give some comments to the Board of Education in March about our activities and what we're doing. So we're hoping to influence the Board of Education as well.
And how can people get involved?
There's a couple of ways. You can go to our website, realfoodforkidsmontgomery.org. Yeah, I think our website is the best thing. We also have a Facebook page. You can go there and like us on Facebook. So we're trying to get, with it, all the social media, and also we have a newsletter that comes out every other month. So,
right. Well, Karen, keep up the good work.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much for talking to us today.
You're welcome.
Only on public access.
Kathy and I are here with Sarah and Sonia. They are members of the Vegetarian Society of DC. Guys, thank you so much for talking to us today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So talk to us about your organization and what do we have here today?
Okay, well, we're with the Vegetarian Society of DC, and we're here promoting all the great benefits of being vegetarian and vegan in the world today. So that includes health for the animals and for the planet. Especially in honor of Earth Day, we thought it'd be a great idea for us to be out.
Perfect idea.
Educate people.
Yeah.
So why should somebody consider becoming vegetarian?
Yeah, well, again, a lot of reasons. What you would say.
There's a lot of there's health reasons to start with. A lot of people want to become healthier and reduce the fat and the cholesterol that they're eating. So eliminating meat and dairy is a good way to do that. Eating more plants. There's a lot of benefits to doing that. And then there's also environmental reasons.
Yeah. So there's like a lot of great reasons for just the planet itself. And so the amount of resources we put into our system of food production today, it's really inefficient if we feed that to animals and then in turn eat the animals. If we ate the plants more directly, it would be more efficient and also much reduced waste. It would reduce pollution and so many things. So we actually have a poster that talks about all those reasons. So it's for health, it's for the planet, and of course it's for the animals, because the way we not only treat them but we exploit them and kill them for food, it's really shocking when people learn about it. So we're here to kind of make people aware of all those reasons, and especially on honor of Earth Day.
So how did you guys make that transition?
Okay, well, I never had to. I was actually raised vegetarian. So for me, I've never knowingly eaten meat, but I became vegan about 20 years ago. And so it was really learning it by seeing people doing it and getting information and sort of questioning who I was.
Yourself. Yeah. Okay.
How about you, Sonia?
Well, I've actually been vegetarian for about 18 years. So I did have to make the transition. I did grow up eating meat. It was part of my family's everyday lifestyle. But I did, the more I learned about the suffering of the animals and the health issues around meat, I just decided that that's just not how I wanted to live my life. And there's so many analogs now, there's so many substitutes that you don't even feel like you're missing anything these days. It makes it's not really that
a lot of
anymore.
substitutes out there.
Yeah.
And for people who are struggling with, whether or not they should make the switch, are there, say, one or two easy things that they can do that might help them make that transition?
Yeah, there really are. You can get great recipes nowadays. Now, everyone's online. You can just Google and get recipes. There's great cookbooks out there. And we also have, good activities where you can learn how to make food. So we do food preparation demonstrations, things so really showing people how to do it, not just the reasons why, but also how. And so they're great tips. So not only recipes, but how you do it. And plus being involved in groups where you get that support and you learn from each other. So there's easy ways to go through that transition.
And you guys have your own meetup group, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, your own type of support group?
Well, it's not just a support group. It's actually a very social group. We do a lot of activities. We do restaurant outings. We do gatherings at museums. In the summertime, there's more like kayaking, just going to Great Falls and hiking, things like that. So it's a way for these like-minded people to gather together, meet each other, and it really helps you to just kind of connect with people who are doing the same thing that you're doing, and you learn about a lot of new restaurants in the area. So it makes it a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah, it's a free
Sounds
online.
like a lot of fun.
It's a free online community, and so it's just the DC area vegan meetup group, and so we do about 5 to 7 events per month. So we're very active, and so we combine all the activities as well as outreach and educational activities.
Mm-hmm. And how else can we get in contact with you guys?
Sure. Well, our website is just vsdc.org. It stands for the Vegetarian Society of DC. And the meetup group, if you just Google vegan meetup in the DC area, you'll come up with us as well. And our veg line is our phone number. If people still use a phone these days, it's 202.
Veg line.
Veg line, as we call it. At 202-362-8349, which is also VEGY. So 202-362-VEGY.
Okay, Sarah and Sonia, thank you so much for talking to us today.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you.
Still, Jen, it's your mom. And where are you? The power's off. I need you.
It is important to connect with neighbors, particularly for seniors who live alone.
Mrs. Sanders, how are you?
It's dark in here.
We brought some food for you.
Oh, that's so nice.
Kurt and I were worried about you.
Befriend your neighbor before an emergency occurs. A message from the Takoma Park Emergency Preparedness Committee.
Access
access television, no commercials, sit and listen. People just like you and me, voices of community, freedom to communicate only on cable. This is great, our nation's First Amendment TV. Cats, kids, history, environmental manatees, beaches, parks, and scenery. Turn us on, you might see me. Controversy, politics, spiritual and skating tricks. Our nation's First Amendment TV.
Hey everyone, so we are here with some of the young ladies from the Young Activist Club. How are you ladies doing today? Good? Okay, thank you. Can you all tell me how your organization started?
It started a long while ago. Before we started trying to get rid of styrofoam, which is what we're doing now, we were basically working on, I guess, stopping climate change and stuff. Until a couple of years ago, we noticed we were using these styrofoam lunch trays in our cafeteria, which we thought we throw these away every day, and they're burned every day after one use. And I'm sure they're probably, they're probably bad for the environment, and there are probably other problems with them. So we decided to research them, and we found out they're not only a neurotoxicant, but they might also cause cancer. So we've been trying to get rid of them since in our school.
So what type of problems does this bring to the environment, styrofoam?
Basically, these trays, after one use in the cafeteria, we use them once and they're burned in the Dickerson incinerator, and all the fumes from the trays go into the air we breathe. Plus, these trays are also made of a chemical called styrene, which is known to cause brain damage. It's a neurotoxicant.
A lot of health issues.
Yeah.
Ladies, what is the best way that people in your community can help you with your cause?
Well, they can sign our petition to help us get rid of the styrofoam trays, because our Board of Education won't support us, and so this will show that the people support us, and they should too.
You can also, I guess, try to stop using styrofoam yourself. I mean, that, I guess, helps.
All right, ladies, thank you so much. Is there any type of website that you guys have?
Yeah.
Anything like that?
If you go to www.youngactivistclub.org,
we'll find you guys there.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for the good work.
Big boss man, can't you hear me when I call? Big boss man, can't you hear me when I call?
I'm here with Julie this afternoon at Green Nuit. Julie, what is Green Nuit?
Green Nuit is an energy solutions company based out of Maryland that helps homeowners and renters in the state of Maryland lower their energy bills. Yes.
And so you guys do that with CFL light bulbs? What is that?
A lot of different products, actually. We're able to go into the home and make upgrades. CFL light bulbs are more efficient light bulbs in comparison to the incandescents that most people are still using today. We're also able to look at some of the plumbing, such as faucet aerators, efficient flow shower heads, hot water tank heaters, and things like that. All of these products are installed instantly at no additional cost to the homeowner or renter, and is part of the Empower Maryland Energy Efficiency Fund.
And so why is it a good idea to do all this to your home?
All of this instantly improves your energy usage and lowers your carbon footprint on the earth. Okay. In addition, it also lowers your utility bills and helps save so that you can continue to make improvements to lower your carbon footprint.
And how can we find you guys if anybody out there wants to get in touch?
You can find us at www.greennuit.com.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much, Julie.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Want a little drink of water, you just won't let me stop with the big boss man. Can't you hear me when I call?
The Director of Public Works, Daryl Braithwaite, is here speaking to us about the recycling process that takes place here in the city. Daryl, what do we have here? What do we have going on as far as like step one of the process? I know it all starts off on the curb level, right?
Right. People put their recycling out at the curb for us to collect. Hopefully they use their recycling container for their mixed bottles
Very
and cans.
important.
Yeah, and we like them to put their newspaper and mixed paper items in paper bags. That way it stays a little cleaner and drier and is more easy
Out
to
of the
separate.
streets.
Yeah, doesn't become litter. So once it gets into our truck, we take it to a processing facility that's set up to sort it and separate it. So first it just gets dumped in the floor, tipping floor of this large facility, and then loaded onto a conveyor belt. There's actually a lot of manual sorting that goes on right at the beginning. The workers there are trying to identify contaminants, things that can't be recycled, and get them out of the waste before it goes into the facility to be sorted. And then each of the different items, the plastics, the glass, the metals, has technology that's used to separate it from the other materials. They use magnets to attract steel cans. They use air and wind to blow plastic since it's fairly light, so they can sort it off the conveyor belts through that. And then the glass, because it's heavy, they usually have to use either optical sorters or people to separate the colors of the glasses as it goes through on the conveyor belt. And then once each of the items has been separated, it gets into its own little part of the facility where it's either baled or crushed, depending on what it is, and then set aside until a large enough quantity is built up so that the end user, the market that buys these materials, will come to the facility, or it'll be shipped by tractor trailer load to the facility where it can be reused. So this display board behind us just shows the different steps that our recyclings go through in their way to become something else.
A lot is going into it.
Yeah. Have you been able to get any feedback or any reports about how things are going?
Well, there's still a lot of people are skeptical sometimes that things don't actually be recycled. I guess we've had such a history of just picking things up in the trash and dumping them in a landfill or burning them in incinerators. So there's some skepticism that things aren't actually being reused. So I always encourage them to go to the processing facilities. Most are set up for tours. You can go and look and see what they do. And then it's fairly convincing that those items do get sorted out, separated, and handled and are repurchased by end users for remaking things.
And how is our city doing on recycling?
Well, the latest numbers that we show in terms of the amount of waste that we're avoiding incinerating is a little over 50%, and that's through the curbside recycling program as well as our yard waste pickup program. You know, we pick up grass and leaves and branches and brush, keep those out of the waste stream. Then we have our fall vacuum leaf collection. So between those two programs, the yard waste program and the curbside recycling program, it's about 52% of the waste avoids being incinerated.
What can we do to get that number higher?
Well, more participation. We do have really high participation in the city, but as we can continue to grow the program and the processing facilities can continue to add new materials that they can accept, like we've recently added aseptic cartons, those milk cartons and juice boxes. They're actually recycled as paper, so you know, as we can add more materials into what's accepted and collected, then we can expand that number. We're also looking at a pilot program with food waste. It's another large piece of the waste stream, so we're taking a look at ways that can be collected and composted, turned into a product that can be used in lawns and gardens. So if we were able to get that program established across the city, that would be a probably 20 to 25% addition to what's avoided from the waste.
Okay.
And what's the best way for everyone who wants to learn, who want to learn more and who want to participate? What's the best way for them to learn more?
Well, there's a lot of information on the web. Certainly at the city's website, there's information on recycling. If you Googled recycling, you could come up with tons and tons of information. Also, on a personal level, if people take a look at what they're buying, try to buy the product that's more recyclable than another. If there's packaging that can't be recycled in some product and it's avoided in another. So if you make choices as you're purchasing things, you can really increase the amount of stuff that's recyclable and reduce the amount of stuff that ends up as waste.
So pay attention to your shopping list, right? That's really good. All right, well, thank you so much for the advice. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.
Access television, no commercials, sit and listen. People just like you and me, voices of community, freedom to communicate only on cable. This is great, our nation's First Amendment TV. Cats, kids, history, environmental manatees, beaches, parks, and scenery. Turn us on, you might see me. Controversy, politics, spiritual and skating tricks. Our nation's First Amendment TV.
I've been clean 4 years.
56 days.
I've been in long-term recovery for 23 years.
I've been in recovery for 6 months and 11.
I've been in recovery for over 15 years.
Every September, people gather all across the country to celebrate recovery from addiction.
I am so grateful for 19 years of recovery. It's changed my life, changed my children's life.
For information or for events near you, visit recoverymonth.gov. Get involved and join the Voices for Recovery.
Thank you very much, Kay, for talking with us.
Oh, you're so welcome.
So, Kay, can you tell us why Earth Day is so important to you?
Well, it's about people being aware of the Earth and taking care of her and giving back to her and not just taking things away from her. This all started in 1970 in New York City in Central Park. They developed something called New Games. I was a physical education instructor at West Virginia University at the time and utilized that whole book of New Games forever in all of my physical education experiences. And this year is the 43rd annual Earth Day. Why it's important to Takoma Park is this is my dream, to have all these people here involved in the junction, here together, sharing each other's experiences, the children, the dogs, the moms, the dads, the old ones, the young ones, everybody. So.
And as far as getting this being Takoma Park's first Earth Day, what went into making this a reality?
This really isn't it their first Earth Day? The co-op had done Earth Days, I don't know how many prior to, where they'd have their little flea market over here and their plant sale over there, and I would try and get people down in the shops down there about, it was probably 6-7 years ago. I get my little plants out and my little dish gardens and try and sell them. I've got a juggler to get people across the street. What went into this was Old Takoma Business Association actually took it over. I think they contracted it out, worked in partnership, and that's what's most exciting about everything that's happening in Takoma Park. It's partnership. It's not just one person, it's partnership. It's groups of people working together to take care of business.
It's a true community.
Yes.
Yeah, true community effort.
Yes.
And are you happy with the turnout?
Oh my gosh, my heart is like full. My heart is full because this really was my dream, to have all these people up here together and sharing this space. This has kind of been a little tiniest bit overlooked in some years, and the space here is a pretty important space. It's not as big as up in Old Town, but it's still an important space.
So it's safe to say that this year's Earth Day recognition or celebration is a success.
Spectacular. I mean, historic Takoma had speakers, they had their business open, they had people talking about environmental issues and other, state and county issues, and had a large crowd down there. And that's what's really exciting, to have everybody on the line here all working together.
So going forward, are there any things in particular you would like to see, anything special, or would you just like to see the tradition continue?
I want the tradition to continue. Earth Day will always happen. I don't think our conservationists and environmentalists will let it not happen. That's fine. But I know Old Takoma Business Association has planned, I think, at least 3 other closing down Upper Grant and having some kind of a festival in here in the next 3 months, once a month for the next 3 months. That's what's really hooked us in. The Takoma Junction Task Force said this is what we want, and this is where we need to go to get it, and Old Takoma Business Association and the city picked up the ball, and they're running with it right now. It's really exciting.
That's great. And Kay, I want to be the first one, if no one else has already thanked you. Thank you very much for all the hard work, all the passion and dedication that you put into making it a success.
Oh, you're welcome. You're so welcome. It's just Takoma Park is my passion. You know, a lot of people are saying, you know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I said, Takoma Park is my passion. I'm doing Takoma Park.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.